Welcome to another episode of Off the Game Pod. You're welcome, you're welcome. I'm sad, but yes, we continue.
Come on.
With me, we have Kali, Katelem, Simon, and they're about to dissect Man City and the destruction of my team, Real Madrid.
Real Madrid anymore.
Guys, see, we go again next season. But yeah, it was a dreadful weekend for us. Midweek, I'm confused. See, it's not my fault. It was.
How did you see the game?
I had 70%. I had 35% possession. It was terrible. But yeah.
How did you see through the game?
By sipping this drink.
You might need a therapist.
See, it was that bad. We couldn't. First 20 minutes was terrible. We couldn't string passes together. Man City were just dominant. We're playing a low block survival mode. Haaland had 2 chances before they scored. That's like, you know what? It's the end. I saw it coming, but I thought I had hope. At least one goal. Benzema was invisible. Vinny couldn't create. You can laugh, Arsenal. Yeah.
You know why I like this? Mm-hmm. Now people understand how I feel.
No, Madrid fans won't do that. They've won a lot of Champions League.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody get history. It doesn't matter. Now you
Word.
Everybody has history. It doesn't matter. What have you done for me lately?
Pause. I won the league and the Champions League last season.
Wow.
You haven't won the league in 20 years.
I don't see Etihad. They don't give me 5-1.
They
don't give me 5-1. At least I score for it. I score.
Yes,
I score. Holding score. When I know if he score, that the Benzema don't finish this all in powers for that Ballon d'Or season.
But it was lovely.
It was lovely.
Why it lasted?
See, one thing I respect Man City, Guardiola has created the perfect team. You know, Jurgen Cruyff talked about it in the 70s. Perfect team football, where from the goalkeeper to the striker, you work as a unit. I feel he did that 09, 010, 011 in Barcelona. And now he has been able to recreate it after many trial and error. Because there's a period we thought that Guardiola is cost. He'll never win Champions League. But I feel with this squad, come on now, it's Inter. To be nice to Inter Milan. Let's just be humble and just it's going to be a competitive match. We'll be like 3-0 they go knock them.
Oh, when they go wipe Inter, bro. See, you heard it here first. City wipe Inter.
They will blow them apart.
Because it might end up 1-0, but
because it's the depth of technical ability. It's not like depth. Some people have depth, but your technical players are like maybe like 5 in the squad. This Man City have like 7, 8, 9 technical players.
At some point, Stones was playing 8, turning 10.
Stones was probably even 7 at some point.
Stones to Busquets.
One thing that actually made me laugh about the game was after, I think it was like 3-0, and then Man City were about to make a change. So I thought, maybe they're bringing Ake or bringing someone defensive. I looked at some Mares. I said, Madrid, you guys are inside today. Next thing I saw Foden. Next thing I saw Alvarez. I said,
how good do you have to be to have Foden, Mares, and
the team? The depth of the team is too strong, and that's why like what Calister was saying last week when we were talking about them playing Everton. There was no way Everton was going to win them because obviously, even if they are going to rotate their squad, who's coming in? Mares is the Premier League winner. Who's coming in? Foden is pretty much the best young star in England. Who's coming in? Alvarez is a World Cup winner. Do you understand? And I just found out now that either Alvarez or Lautaro would have both the World Cup and the Champions League
and the Premier League.
And for Alvarez, it's actually a mad one because if he manages to win the treble and win the World Cup, I don't think anybody has done that before.
At his age.
Because for you to win the treble and for it to align with the same year of the World Cup, I don't think it has happened
before. The man, he has the Copa America a year before.
We are talking of English treble. Any other treble is not big. Wait, but the Varane win the treble.
He won the treble, with Madrid.
He won the World Cup 2018.
Varane is actually a very decorated player. But it just shows the depth of the squad. And like he was saying, Pep is just a genius, man. Like I'm currently reading Ancelotti's book, and I can see the detail they put into these things. But if Ancelotti put in that kind of detail, imagine what Pep is doing with these players. He talked about Stones. Stones is ridiculous. I remember when he had just left Everton to City, and people were saying he's not really good at ball playing. He's not really good at defending. Now Pep has transformed him into something entirely different, and it's just crazy.
Kali, Was Man City just that good, or were Madrid bad?
Man City is the best team in the world right now. Take it or leave it. No talks. I don't think any team in the world right now can compete with Man City. And having Pep Guardiola as the coach just crowns it all. And yesterday was one of the happiest days of my life. I'm telling you, to be honest. It was because before today, there've been a lot of questions that Madrid is Madrid. It is. Madrid has turned the Champions League to a Farmers' Cup, the way City is turning the Premier League to a Farmers' League. So now you look at the fact that now you're playing a team that is the best team in the world, and you want to compare it with Real Madrid of then. And I look at the quality of players in Madrid: Benzema, Modric, and Toni Kroos. They're the three players. Carvajal. I think the rest,
just terrorist football.
Apart from them winning the Champions League last season, the rest are novice. They are not part of the Champions League history of Madrid. And that is where any team should capitalize on. For God's sake, a struggling Chelsea beat this Real Madrid team at some point. So I think their glory days is like drifting away. It's coming to an end. And a lot of Madrid fans like yourself have not come to terms with that.
No. You're extremely humble self.
Okay.
So it was really... It's really surprising that a lot of people say you go to Etihad and you win City. You must really be joking. Because I don't see City losing any game to the end of the season. City won't lose one single game.
I concur.
Even after the end of the season, I'm talking to Katelem, like beside me.
I'm not arguing with you.
Man United. I will still beat Man United.
I know.
This is a time and an era, if you remember football, of when Barcelona looks like a complete team. When they won it, that is the moment, and it did not just happen overnight. They gradually built themselves over the seasons, perfected a team, brought in one or two players. The coming in of Haaland just climbed up. Next season, you see that position of KDB. He will not play every game next season, so they'll try so hard to get someone to replace him. And that is something I noticed yesterday. Phil Foden now is not a regular for City. And he's a player that Pep Guardiola is trying to change his position. John Stones naturally goes to play the defensive role, but this season he has been playing more of in the midfield, going forward. In fact, I don't even know the position John Stones is playing this season. And that is confusing at some point.
Somewhere in the
midfield. Now Phil Foden, it's like Pep Guardiola is a crazy guy. He wants to turn Phil Foden to a younger of Kevin De Bruyne. And that is something I really don't understand. How do you turn a KDB get a KDB and younger version? And that's Phil Foden. Yesterday shows it. Came off the bench, slot into the team, and played so well in less than 3 minutes. Alvarez is with a goal. It just shows a lot.
Piggyback on that, because watching what Guardiola does. So if you are like Katelem, you analyze. You guys, sorry, not even just Katelem. Everyone does, right? But then if you have this, when you're trying to get into coaching, you tend to see what he's doing. In that football is no longer position and formation. It's evolving. Like you just have your role. You get so someone like you have your role and the coach, you study your players and you see their abilities. So Foden has pace, can pick a pass.
Yeah.
You get, and he just like, you know what, drop in when I need you on the wing. Sure. Have that burst of pace, but when I need you in the midfield, I need your passing prowess. You get reduce the pace so that you can think more. If you know when you play ball, in that moment where you are in the midfield as a 10, you slow down. The game actually slows down for you, and then you can see those spaces.
And you can control the
pace. You can control the tempo. It's the same thing Gundogan does steadily, and I don't see any weaknesses from Man City's side because. That's a position that Stones is taking up. See, okay, he starts to... This thing you just said about De Bruyne. You have Foden that's 21, 22, coming to take over. You have Stones is 28. By the time he leaves that second pivot position, you have Rico Lewis coming to take over.
Calvin Phillips is still
there. In fact, Calvin Phillips cannot even slot into this thing.
I believe Pep can train him enough. If Stones can slot him,
do you remember that
Calvin
Phillips and Declan Rice at some point were one of the best players that wanted to be so far, close to 80 million.
It's hard for a Pep signing to
it's almost like
the first season.
Pep's MOS, that first season. It's very hard to transition.
Last season,
it's like almost a culture shock. He changes your diet, he changes everything about you.
So what is happening to Haaland? Why is he not waiting?
No, Haaland is Haaland was made in a lab, man.
They are outliers.
We know this.
Yes.
Haaland was made in a lab. It's not you.
But for me, totally, it was a great game, a great atmosphere as well. City just showed Madrid that we respect you. Shocking that Carlos Ancelotti had to take out Modric at 68 minutes or thereabout. So
he played like he was actually 68.
We'll forgive you for that.
No, what you said about Madrid.
But 68. Do you want to kill him?
I don't agree.
He has given his all to Madrid. There's nothing
Thank you.
left.
There's
nothing left.
I don't even know why we are being modest about this. City spanked Madrid. Let's call it speed is speed. It was like just one boys versus SS3 boys. So we're being modest because it's just.
It was not that bad. The second half of the game got better.
These people are not fair.
I'm being fair. I said it was very bad at the first half because Madrid were trying to come with the counter-attack.
It's because I have found inner peace ever since Arsenal choked away the Premier League.
Please, when we are talking about Champions League, don't bring Arsenal into the equation.
But we're the only London club will be there next season.
No, it's not London club. How?
Man, you will need it too.
So how? It's true. Please, when we talk Champions League, drop Arsenal aside. Let's focus on teams that are really doing the job in the Champions League. But for now, Madrid, game plan, Carlos Ancelotti, Rudiger. A lot of people question Rudiger being on the bench for Militao. Did he overthink his tactics like Pep Guardiola usually do? But one thing is certain, he came with a game plan. Counter-attack. He was not at home. You don't expect him to have more of the ball. City will pass the ball to kill time.
Before we leave Man City, do you think if you were Bellingham in this situation and you just finished watching the onslaught that happened, God, my truth.
You need to pick up your phone and call Pep Guardiola. Hello, this is Jude Bellingham. I know it's very rude, but I really need you to sign me. Please get me out of Dortmund.
Okay, so she picks Man City. If you're Bellingham,
I'm picking Madrid any day.
No.
Seriously. It's not even about the performance. It's this thing Calister talks about, pedigree. As a player, the pinnacle of your career is Madrid. Regardless of where Madrid is. Even if Madrid are coming fifth in the league, just to have that you played in Madrid in your CV. Bro, Madrid, Di Maria left Madrid to Man and started writing letters back to that's the effect Madrid has.
It's not every player that moves to Madrid that hits the ground rolling.
Yeah, but just to have it in your CV.
Hazard is a player that when he was leaving Chelsea, a lot of people say he's going to be one of the best player at Madrid. He would just slot into the team. If you look at his unveiling, it was crazy. The fans in the stadium. But Haaland cannot even make it to the team. A lot will say it's because of his laziness, and he really didn't adapt to the team. Now, apart from Vinicius, Camavinga gleams. I've not seen consistency in Camavinga. I look at Tchouaméni. These are players that came off the bench last season, and we're talking about, Madrid has finally gotten replacement for Casemiro, Toni Kroos, Luka Modric. But now Tchouaméni is Tchouaméni. Casemiro is balling. Yeah. Man United. So as I said, Real Madrid have this pedigree, but they are regrouping now. That is something which Real Madrid fans and players should understand. They are regrouping. Yes. Benzema next season, they have to get a striker. Vinicius Junior will have to still continue with his performance. That's true. Valverde, who is doing so well for me, will continue his thing. But you see that midfield replacement, they have not done it. The defense as well. Nacho, you're still playing with Nacho and Militao. Apart from Thibaut Courtois. So
Militao is actually
Nacho, you have Rudiger. Apart from Rudiger, for me, Rudiger, and he loses his head at times. I'm talking about in the league, cup competitions as well in general. So Madrid will need to make some good signing, and they'll still have to ensure that they hold on to Carlos Ancelotti, not going to Brazil as a coach.